Disconnect the dryer from electrical power. 5/16 inch socket, remove the two screws from the bottom edge of the access panel. Gently lower the access panel to disengage the locators from the bottom edge of the front panel. Using a 5/16 inch socket, remove the two screws holding the bottom tabs of the front panel to the dryer side panels. Swing the bottom of the front panel away from the dryer far enough to disengage the hold-down clips and locators from the cabinet top. Disconnect the wires from the door switch. Set the front panel aside. Using a Phillips screwdriver, remove the three screws holding the air duct assembly to the front bulkhead. Remove the air duct assembly from the front bulkhead and blower housing assembly. Reach in with both arms and disconnect the belt from the idler and motor pulley. Disconnect the motor harness terminal block by pressing in on the movable locking tabs at each end of the block and pull the motor harness terminal block away from the motor. Disconnect the harness wires from the thermostat. Using a 5/16 inch socket, remove the two screws holding the motor mounting bracket to the base. Pull the motor and blower assembly forward to disconnect the exhaust duct from the assembly. Rotate the motor and blower assembly 90 degrees counterclockwise and slide it out through the front of the dryer. Using a 1/4 inch socket, remove the 7 screws holding the blower cover to the blower housing. Hold the motor pulley securely with pliers or a wrench and unthread the blower fan counterclockwise from the motor shaft. If the blower fan cannot be removed by hand, use a socket and ratchet on the molded fan nut. Using a 5/16 inch socket, remove the 3 screws holding the blower housing to the motor mounting bracket. Using a flat-bladed screwdriver, pry the 2 motor mounting clamps off the motor mounting bracket. Lift the motor out of the motor mounting bracket. Place the motor into the motor mounting bracket with the switch side facing the idler arm. Make sure that the motor is properly aligned on the motor mounting bracket. Using a flat-bladed screwdriver, install the 2 motor mounting clamps to the motor mounting bracket. Using a 5/16 inch socket, install the 3 screws and fasten the blower housing to the motor mounting bracket. Apply an anti-seize compound, part number 27604P, to the blower end of the motor shaft. Hold the motor pulley securely with pliers and thread the blower fan clockwise onto the motor shaft. Torque the fan to between 20 and 40 inch-pounds. Using a 1/4 inch socket, install the 7 screws and fasten the blower cover to the blower housing. Slide the motor and blower fan assembly into the slot of the base and onto the exhaust duct. Using a 5/16 inch socket, install the 2 screws holding the motor mounting bracket to the base. Refer to the wiring diagram and reconnect the harness wires to the thermostat. Attach the motor harness terminal block by pressing in on the movable locking tabs at each end of the block and plug the motor harness terminal block into the motor. Reach in and position the belt around the idler and motor pulley. Reach in and turn the cylinder clockwise 1 revolution to align the belt. Align the air duct assembly to the front bulkhead and blower housing assembly. Using a Phillips screwdriver, install 3 screws holding the air duct assembly to the front bulkhead. Refer to the wiring diagram located in the control hood and reconnect the wires to the door switch. The front panel at a 45-degree angle and align the hold-down clips at the cabinet top with the slots in the dryer top. Hinge the panel down into position. Using a 5/16 inch socket, install the 2 screws holding the bottom tabs of the front panel to the dryer side panels. Position the access panel locators into the locator holes at the bottom of the front panel. Using a 5/16 inch socket, install the 2 screws to the bottom edge of the access panel. Reconnect the dryer to electrical power. Run the dryer through 1 cycle to make sure that the dryer is operating properly.